I retrieve the lost pieces of a sexually timid girl. The one who then sat longingly awaiting her tame lover, who would uncover her from the dark corners of herself. The one who would not dive into unknown sensations, taking her away from safety. The one who cringed at anything harder than the tongue from which she speaks. The one who one day discovered she discovered one amazing, overflowing, sensational sea of hot tamale spice. Inside her, she felt an unexplainable desire that she had never before allowed herself to feel. Immediately, she sought out, hunted down, preyed upon, devoured her own finely wrapped corn spice. Exploring this like there was no tomorrow. Penetrating hollows as her own soul unfolding, growing profoundly. Sucking flesh of femininity as her own intensity. Reaching each new climax as her own musical composition, ignition on continuously. Riding every muscular curve, high, low, within, below. Wetness, healing, a once upon a time bodily depletion. Rumbling, throbbing, pounding in this beat of one sensuous retreat. Flying miles, mountains wide, seas deep, to please and receive her one fine hot cayenne pepper spice tamale fire. No longer is she introvertedly, insanely, shamefully, sexually timid as the girl she used to be. Some quick announcements before we move on to our performance. As was mentioned, there are after parties at the home of Jennifer and Charlotte, 320 South B Street, following the performance, and also at the bar. You can get information out in the lobby. As of tonight, Blast has 878 official members. That number actually means well over 900 actually, because a lot of couples join as one member. If you haven't joined, again, pick up information at the ticket table. Blast is having its 3rd birthday party on March the 10th with an awesome dance. Tickets are $20 and for sale at the ticket table in the lobby. Women in Network is having its 17th annual charity golf tournament March 31st at Boca Greens Country Club to benefit women's heart health. And for more information, guess where? The lobby. That's correct. Some quick housekeeping issues. If you have not yet, please, out of respect for the artist, please turn off the ringers on your phone. For your own enjoyment, you may leave it on vibrate. That's up to you. Please do not text during the performance because the light that comes from your phone when you text, even though it seems invisible to you, is distracting to the artist. So we just ask for your cooperation there. If you do have to take a call or text, please exit the room. If you do have to exit the room, we ask that you do so through the very back doors and only during applause between the monologues. Okay, I think that's the house. Yes, excellent. Okay, that's the house. And now we move on. I hope you all have a playbill at your seat that further explains the Vagina Monologues and the global movements behind it. I won't read it all to you, but just very briefly, the history. The Vagina Monologues is a play written by the venerably and endless champion of women, Eve Ensler. In its 14th year, the Vagina Monologues is performed worldwide by women, specifically university students and community advocates like ourselves. The goal of the Vagina Monologues performance is twofold. Most importantly, it's to raise the awareness of the senseless violence and victimization inflicted upon women and girls globally. Equally important, the Vagina Monologues is a fundraiser for organizations that work to protect and empower women and girls. The money raised tonight will be donated to our beneficiaries, Compass, ABDA, which is Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse, and to the B-Day campaign. The performers you will see tonight are not professional actresses, they're better. First and foremost, they're activists. They're feminist activists. Some are healing from being former victims of violent perpetration, but all of these women are driven by their outrage at the violence and are motivated to stop the violence by whatever means possible. Some not so acceptable means, but when is violence against women and girls acceptable? Sisters and brothers, I bring you the Vagina Monologues.
I bet you're worried.
We were worried. We were worried about vaginas.
We were worried about what we think of them. We were worried that we don't think of them. We were worried about our own vaginas. We needed a context, a community, a culture of vaginas. There's so much darkness and secrecy surrounding them. Like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not so easy to even find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, sometimes years without even looking at it. A high-powered businesswoman was interviewed and she said she was too busy. She didn't have the time. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You have to get down there on your back in front of a mirror that's standing on its own, full length preferably. You have to get in the perfect position with the perfect light, which is then shadowed by the mirror and the angle you're at. You get all twisted up. You're arching your head up and killing your back. You're exhausted by then. She said she didn't have the time for that. She was busy.
So there were vagina interviews, which became Vagina Monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. Older women, young women, married women, lesbians, single women, college professors, actors, corporate professionals, sex workers, African American women, Asian American women, Hispanic women, Native American women, Caucasian women, and Jewish women. Okay. At first, women were reluctant to talk. They were, a little shy. But once they got them going, they couldn't stop. Women secretly love to talk about their vaginas. And they get very excited. Mainly because no one has ever talked about them before.
Let's just start with the...
Give it some Viagra.
All right. Let's just start with the word vagina. It sounds like an infection at best. Maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse. Bring me the vagina. Doesn't matter how many times you say it. Vagina. Vagina. It never sounds like a word you want to say. It's a completely, totally ridiculous, unsexy word. If you try using it during sex, being politically correct, darling, can you please stroke my vagina? You kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them, and don't call them.
In Great Neck, they call it a pussycat. A woman there said that her mother used to tell her, "Don't wear your panties underneath your pajamas, dear. You need to air out your pussycat."
In Westchester, they call it a pookie.
A pookie.
In New Jersey, twat.
There's powder box, a poochie, a poopy, a pee-pee, a poopaloo, a punani, a pal, and a peachy.
Tony, Dee, Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
Torture, cooter, lame,
Lot of single men.
VA, Wee Wee, Horse Spot, Nappy Dugout,
Mongo, Mookie, a pajama, Fanny Boo, Mushmallow,
A ghoulie, possible, tamale, totita, Connie.
a Mimi in Miami.
Split Knish from Philadelphia,
And a Spende in the Bronx.
we were worried about vaginas.